It is spooky season, y'all, which means it's time to hit up those pumpkin patches, drink your apple cider, bake those cookies, go to those haunted houses, do the spooky things. But if you're anything like me, you also look forward to watching scary movies and cuddling up under a nice warm blanket, okay? And what a lot of us don't know is that most of these scary movies are actually linked to real cases. Ooh, so in the spirit of October, I'm going to be dropping cases that are related to iconic scary movies. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Silent Screams, Fact or Fiction. Guess who's back, back again. Jamie's back. Tell a friend. You guys, I have been slacking with the true crime content and I'm so disappointed in myself. I could not wait for October to come around because I already had this plan to do content based off of movies, and it was gonna be this whole thing and I was gonna have it ready on October 1st because spooky season is my season, and I dropped the ball, y'all. I dropped the ball, but we're here now. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm not gonna ramble too much, but I love y'all. Let's get into today's case. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the movie Annabelle. If you're not, I'll give you a little rundown. Annabelle is a scary movie based on a doll that is ultimately possessed and starts terrorizing this couple, and they find out that the doll is connected to some satanic cult. Right? Okay, you follow? If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest you go watch it. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it was kind of corny. Honest to God, I think the real story is better than the movie, in my opinion. Like, researching it was really fun for me. So Annabelle was directed by John R. Lyoness and produced by James Wan, who actually created The Conjuring as well. Everybody's names except for two people in this case, their names were changed to protect their identity, to protect them from public ridicule and all that. So even though the names are changed and there's not a lot of information on these victims, their story is said to be true. Today's case starts with Donna. Donna is a 28-year-old nursing student living in Hartford, Connecticut. And at this time, Donna has a roommate named Angie. Angie is also a nursing student at this time. Peers and family members would describe both girls as hardworking, logical, and not necessarily superstitious. They did not believe in ghosts or demons. In 1970, Donna received a Raggedy Ann doll from her mother on her birthday as a gift. And after receiving this doll, Donna took it home and put it on her bed and didn't really give it a second thought after that. Not too long after Donna received the doll from her mom, strange things started to happen. Donna started to notice odd things about the doll. Donna would leave and then come back and find the doll in a slightly different position than when she left. It was little things like a tilt of the head, legs being crossed, or an arm being repositioned. Soon after Donna started noticing these little changes, the doll started to move rooms completely. They'd leave the doll on Donna's bed and come home to the doll sitting on the couch or even sitting in a chair close to the front door. It is said that on a few occasions, the doll was seen sitting upright, like kneeling on its knees, which was basically physically impossible for a Raggedy Ann doll, considering how loose the doll is. The best way I could describe it is my teddy bear, you guys. Like, picture something so soft like this trying to like kneel on its knees and actually staying there without falling over like my teddy bear. The first tilt of the head or cross of the arms, I'm fucking out of there. I'm not even playing with y'all. Are you kidding me? That doll would have been in the garbage. Once the doll started moving rooms, the girls started to think maybe it was a prank, but they soon realized how could someone be pranking them when they don't have a key to their apartment? I'm telling you, there's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. No. No, 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 no. You can have it. I would have just moved at that point. So the girls were uneasy after finding the doll in different places, but things got even more strange after that. One day, Angie and Donna come home and they find a note. It doesn't say where the note was found, but they find a note on parchment paper that said "help me" and another one that said "help us." And it seemed to have handwriting like a child on it. And what was even more eerie about the notes that they found is that neither of the girls had parchment paper. Like, there was no parchment paper in their house. It was not something that they used. And the marker that was used on the parchment paper didn't match any of the, like, the... What the fuck am I trying to say right now? It didn't match anything that they had in their house. So there was no way that one of the girls could have been pranking the other with these weird notes. But does it stop there, you guys? Of course not. Of course not. Of course they don't do something after they get the notes. No, 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 no. They wait till it escalates. Okay, you guys? They wait until it escalates. So one day Donna comes home and finds the Raggedy Ann doll sitting on her bed with a red substance on its hands and chest. After the girls examined the Raggedy Ann doll a little bit closer, they realized that the red substance isn't coming from anywhere around the doll, or there's just no sign of where the red substance could be coming from. And it appeared that the red substance was coming from inside of the doll, from the inside out of the doll, from the inside out of the doll. Oh, y'all get what I'm trying to say, right? It was like the doll was bleeding. The fuck? Fuck no. No. No, 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 no. Not I. Okay. Now, finally, this was the breaking point for Donna and Angie. They were like, okay, this is just too much. We have to do something. We have to get help. So Donna, and I think Angie too, I'm pretty sure they did it together, they reached out to a medium and had the medium come to their house to see what was going on. My bad, you guys. Donna is the one that contacts the medium, not Angie. So Angie ain't had nothing to do with it. It was Donna. Donna contacted a medium to come to their house and figure out what was going on. So the medium performs a seance to, I guess, speak to the entity or whatever woo-woo was going on with the doll. Yeah, okay? Medium ends up getting in contact with a 7-year-old little girl named Annabelle Higgins. Supposedly. Okay? Supposedly. Annabelle Higgins told the medium that she had tragically died there before the buildings were built, the apartment buildings were built, and she just felt so attracted to Angie and... I was about to say Diana. What is this girl's name? Donna. What the fuck? She felt so attracted to Donna and Angie's energy, said that they were just so loving and that she just wanted to... Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all the quote. She, quote, wanted to stay to be loved, end quote. And so I don't know why the fuck anybody would feel compassionate about that. But Donna did. And she gave the little girl permission to continue to stay. She, yeah. What the fuck? Yes, 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 yes. Donna was touched. She was so touched and she gave the spirit permission to stay. I'm not even gonna say it. The real ones know what I'm thinking. Okay, what's that meme, you guys? At this moment, she knew she fucked up. Yeah, she fucked up. Okay, she fucked up. So after Donna gave the spirit permission to stay, things started to progress in a slightly scary way. So it is said that the Annabelle doll... Oh my gosh, you guys, I forgot to, did I say it already? Let me just insert this real quick. I'm sorry. So in the movie, the Annabelle doll was a porcelain doll made out of glass or whatever. But the original doll was a Raggedy Ann doll. I'm gonna insert a picture. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Where was I? Oh yeah, things started to progress after she allowed the spirit to stay. And so Donna started to find the doll in what she would describe as aggressive positioning. She was looming over Donna's bed is what she said. I don't know what the fuck looming is, like what she was hovering. I know looming is like looking over, but how would a doll be like looming? I don't know. But looming over her bed and sitting like in front of the door as if it was waiting for something. Like she said, the doll was sitting there like it was, quote, waiting. I don't know. I mean, the doll was already moving rooms, so it's like that doesn't really sound that scary to me. I mean, like you already said it could stay. I don't know, but I guess the energy changed. Like once that energy shifts, you can feel it, baby. Okay, you can feel it. So I guess she just felt the energy of it, like it was sitting there staring at her. Creepy. Donna had this friend Lou that would come over to the house and visit her and Angie. Lou started to have nightmares about the doll. Creepy, you guys. So Lou said one night he had a dream about the Annabelle doll, and he was laying in the bed and the doll was like climbing up his body and he couldn't move, and then the doll strangled him to death. And when he woke up, he was paralyzed. He couldn't move. A few days later, after having this dream, he goes over to Donna's place and he's completely awake and aware of the whole thing. That's what was said in the stuff I read. He was completely awake and aware, like this was not a dream. He goes into Donna's room for some reason. I don't know why he went in there, but he goes into Donna's room and sees that the Annabelle doll is laying on the ground, and he decided to walk over to the doll. I guess he was gonna go pick it up, or I don't know what he was gonna do, but he started walking over to the doll, and as he's walking over there, he feels something behind him, so he spins around fast and there's no one there, but he starts to feel like this cold pain in his chest. I'm sorry, not cold. He starts to feel this burning feeling on his chest. So he runs out of the room frightened, and Angie says that once he comes running out of the room, she sees that he has 7 claw marks across his torso, 4 horizontal and 3 vertically. She described it as a beastly mark. This would have been it. I would have packed my shit up and left. Like I don't know what they were doing. Yeah. When Angie seen Lou with scratches on his chest, he was bleeding like bad. Like you think he would have had real bad scarring, right? Within 2 days, the scratches were completely healed as if it never happened. Hell no. It's said in the stuff that I read online that this is when the girls decided enough was enough, which is crazy, because if my friend came running out of the room with scratches on their chest, that would have been the point where I was like, okay, this is enough. But no, it took him having scratches on his chest and then it healing as if nothing happened for them to be like, oh yeah, maybe we should get some help. This is crazy. I don't know, I just found that weird to me personally, but there's my own personal opinion. Donna and Angie were completely desperate at this point and were aware that there is no way that this spirit or whatever it is a child. It had to be something else. The girls reached out to a priest, and in turn the priest introduced the girls to a couple named Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about Ed and Lorraine. Let's start with Ed first and then we'll get to Lorraine. Okay. Ed Warren was born on September 7th, 1926 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He was born into a working class family that had strong Catholic values. His household was faith-based. His family was very, very religious, and this was around the time of the Great Depression. And when it came to Ed, hard work and religion really shaped his values when it came to how he would move in life later on. At a young age, Ed would experience things that would change his whole life forever. He would experience supernatural encounters that no one around him could actually explain. At the age of 5, Ed said that his family lived in a, quote, haunted house. Here's a quote from Ed I'm going to read to you guys really quick. Quote, every night I'd see lights flickering, shadows moving, doors opening on their own, and I'd hear voices calling my name, end quote. He would talk about a woman that he would see in his closet with a white veil that would just appear out of nowhere. He would also talk about having or experiencing like oddly cold spots in his house. As well as the cold spots, Ed would hear footsteps in rooms where there was nobody in there. And whenever Ed tried to explain this stuff to his dad, he would just tell him like everything has a logical explanation. And Ed would be like, but there is no logical explanation to what I'm experiencing. Nobody really believed Ed was experiencing anything supernatural, so I imagine it was hard for him at being a kid and being like, I'm experiencing these things, and having everybody look at you like, yeah, no you're not. No you're not. These early experiences made Ed determined to understand like what happens when people encounter the unknown. That curiosity became the seed to his long life work of being a demonologist, and he was actually the first person to be a demonologist. I think he actually came up with that terminology. Don't quote me, but I think he's the one that came up with that terminology, and a lot of other people followed suit after. Before Ed became this infamous demonologist, he was actually an artist. He loved painting houses, specifically haunted houses, landscapes, anything with some mystery or decay. You know, spooky things he loved to paint, and he was good at it too. After Ed graduated high school, he worked part-time painting portraits and then moved on to sketching historical landmarks and haunted houses around England. He once said, I'm gonna give you guys a quote, I couldn't afford to buy a haunted house, so I painted them, end quote. Don't be freaky now, y'all. I'm getting scared. Chill out with that shit. I'm starting to scare myself. At 17 years old, Ed enlisted in the US Navy during World War II. He worked on a ship in the North Atlantic. The ship actually ended up having a catastrophic explosion. The ship sank, and Ed was actually one of the few that survived. Now, it is said after this incident, Ed's faith in God became a lot stronger than it was, and he believed that there was life after death after experiencing this near-death experience. When Ed returned home in 1945, he married Lorraine Warren. Which brings us to Lorraine Warren. Lorraine Warren would soon be Lorraine Warren, so I'm just gonna say Lorraine Warren. We're just gonna call her Lorraine, goddamn. Okay. Lorraine was born on January 31st, 1927 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. She was raised in a devoted Roman Catholic family, surrounded by traditional values, church teachings, and prayer. It is said that her parents were strict but loving. When Lorraine started to experience things, it was hard for her to talk to her family about it because they didn't speak about anything supernatural. From a young age, at about 7 or 8, Lorraine said that she started to realize that she could see other things that most people couldn't. She would say at a young age that she could look at somebody and see either a light around them or a shadow. And she would later describe this as their aura. She described it as being able to see someone's spiritual temperature, which I really like, you guys. Ooh. She could also see their emotions, energy, and also be able to see if they were close to death or not. In an interview, she said, and I quote, "When I was a child, I thought everyone saw what I did. I didn't know it was unusual," end quote. Her clairvoyant tendencies were not encouraged at this time. She spoke to some nuns about what she was seeing, and they told her, quote, "Stop talking nonsense," end quote. After having this encounter with the nuns, she became even more private about what she was experiencing and what she could see, in fear of people judging her. And she felt this way for years before she actually opened up to people about her abilities. Now, even though her abilities were not accepted, it did not affect her relationship with God and her religion. She said, if anything, her religion and God kept her grounded. She said that she never saw her gifts as magic or witchcraft. She saw them as a gift from God to be able to help other people. Lorraine attended Catholic school, went to mass, I hope I'm saying that right, no disrespect, mass on a regular basis, and prayed regularly. In her own words, she said, and I quote, "My faith is my protection. I don't do anything without prayer first." And I love that, you guys. Lorraine would describe herself as a quiet child, often keeping to herself. She loved art and music, nature, and preferred calm over chaos. Lorraine met Ed in her mid-teens around the 1940s. Ed was working as an usher. I think he was working as an usher at a movie theater in Bridgeport. Yes, he was working as an usher. And it is said that Ed would sneak Lorraine into, or no, he would sneak her movie tickets. And that's what ultimately started their relationship. Which I think is so cute, you guys. Oh my god. As things progressed, Lorraine said that she didn't tell Ed about her gifts right away, but after Ed started to share more with Lorraine about his interests in haunted houses and stuff like that, she started to open up to him about her gifts. The two of them ended up getting married in 1945. They were both 18 at the time. Crazy. It is not like that anymore, you guys. It is rare for people to get married at a young age and stay together for so long. I would have loved to have a story like that where you meet somebody at a young age and you guys are together for like 70 years. Oh, what a time to be alive. Now, at some point after their marriage, Lorraine and Ed started to investigate haunted houses together. It is said that it all started when Ed had painted a haunted house, and he brought the painting that he did up to the house or whatever, knocked on the door just to get the people to answer and get them talking. And that's ultimately what kickstarted their business and being investigators into the spooky, mysterious realm of woo-woo, okay? Lorraine would not channel spirits like in the movies, like in that woo-woo theatrical extra kind of way. She would experience visions, intuitive impressions, flashes of emotion or imagery. It is said that she could enter a haunted house and know information before people even telling her anything. She could know about the people that lived there or died there before being informed of any information. She didn't believe these interactions were from ghosts. She believed that it was divine intuition guided by her faith in God. Lorraine identified as a clairvoyant, which is clear seeing. She could see things that other people couldn't. And she identified as a trance medium, which is somebody that can connect with spiritual energy. By the early 1950s, they were visiting haunted houses together full time. In 1952, they officially founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. Now, let's bring it back to the Annabelle situation. So Ed and Lorraine get contacted by a priest on behalf of Donna and what's the homegirl's name? Damn. Angie. Donna and Angie. Damn. So after Lorraine and Ed get contacted, they start to do their investigation on this Annabelle doll. So after their investigation, the Warners conclude that Annabelle is not a child. It was in fact a demonic entity pretending to be Annabelle. They told Donna that since she granted the entity permission to stay, she invited this demonic spirit into her life. Lorraine explained that this was a common tactic for demonic spirits. They would pull on people's emotions in order to gain entry into their lives. Once accepted, they attempt to possess a human soul. So Annabelle, or that demonic spirit, was not trying to possess the physical doll, it was trying to possess Donna. After they find out what they're dealing with, the Warners perform a house blessing with a priest and ultimately remove the doll from the apartment. It is said that during transport of the doll, so after they got the doll into the car and they were taking it away, the doll was still affecting things around it. So they said that during transport they experienced engine stalls, swerving, and even brake failure. Ed sprinkled holy water on the doll multiple times before they reached their home. Even after they got the doll into their home, it said that the strange activities continued after that. It is said that the doll was found levitating and allegedly moving rooms even after being locked away. Eventually, they secured it in a special glass container in their occult museum in their basement, and it had a sign on it that said "Warning" in big letters, "Positively do not open." Over the years, the Warners claimed that the doll still had some strange things surrounding it. There was an incident where I'm gonna tell you more about the museum in a minute, but there was someone touring their museum, right? They were in there for a tour, and the person allegedly was mocking the doll, telling it to, quote, do something, tapping on the glass and provoking the doll. And when he left the museum, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but allegedly he crashed and died instantly right after mocking the Annabelle doll. Which is creepy, you guys. What the heck? On top of that, priests that would come bless the doll or come visit the doll said that they would experience brake failure after leaving, so their car brakes would give out, which I think is what happened to that guy on the motorcycle. The fucking train. God damn it. Lorraine Warner herself said that she would avoid touching the doll altogether. To this day, the doll is blessed by priests on a regular and locked away. According to the Warners, Annabelle wasn't possessed. She was manipulated by evil. I'm gonna read you guys a quote from Ed. Quote, "Demons don't possess things, they possess people. They use things like dolls as tools to reach them." End quote. I think that's the scariest thing about this story. It's not about a doll coming to life. It's about an entity using the doll as a gateway into our world. The original Annabelle story inspired, of course, the Annabelle, there's like 3 Annabelle movies. Hold on, you guys. Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle Coming Home. And it also inspired the movie The Conjuring. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about the Warner Museum. The Occult Museum was located in the basement of Ed and Lorraine's home. The museum was established in the 1950s when their investigations grew and they needed a safe place to store haunted or cursed artifacts that couldn't be destroyed. For over 60 years, the museum was ran as a part of their organization, the New England Society for Psychic Research. Sorry, you guys. Originally, this museum was not meant to be for tourism or for people to come and see it. It was really just a safe space for spiritual confinement, like just a way to contain these evil entities and keep it away from the general public. I'm gonna read you guys a quote from Ed. Ed said, and I quote, "These are not souvenirs. Each item here has been involved in a case of true evil. Destroying them can release whatever's attached to them, so we lock them up and bless them instead." End quote. Every artifact in that museum was believed to be infused with dark or demonic entities. Visitors often described the museum as dimly lit, uncomfortably quiet, and heavy. The walls were lined with crosses, rosaries, and just religious symbolisms. It is said that they did this to ultimately protect the space. I'm going to read you guys a quote again real quick. It is said that the air felt dense and cold, as if it, quote, pressed on your chest. Lorraine often warned guests not to touch or stand too close to certain artifacts because it could lead them to get dizzy or nauseous. Now, I know a lot of you, or some of you, may be curious about what was in the museum, so I'm gonna list the artifacts that are in the museum for you guys. And I'm gonna read it because that's way too much to remember in my small little brain, okay? Okay, so for the first one, we all know Annabelle. We all know the story behind Annabelle, so I don't have to get into that. Another artifact that was in the museum is the shadow doll. Now, the shadow doll is a small doll made of animal bones, human hair, and fabric. It is said to have been used in occult rituals. Legend says that if someone dreams of it, it can stop their heart while they're sleeping. It is kept in a locked glass case. Now, the second one is the Conjuring mirror, if you guys remember, with the weird faces on it. The mirror was used by occultists to summon or see spirits, allegedly opening a portal that let demonic entities through. Visitors have reported feeling watched when standing near it. The third item is the satanic idol. Now, the satanic idol is a ugly wooden statue discovered deep in the woods of Connecticut. I feel like there's a lot of weird shit going on in Connecticut, you guys. But it was found surrounded by evidence of a ritual activity, candles, blood, symbolisms, and is believed to attract demonic energy. The fourth item in the occult museum was the vampire's coffin. I would love to know a little bit more behind this one. I can't lie. I think I might research it because yeah. So the vampire's coffin, it is said to have been used by a man who claimed to be a vampire in the 1940s. The Warrens confiscated it after police found the man sleeping in graveyards. The coffin is lined with crucifixes to keep its spirituality sealed. The fifth item or items is rings, necklaces, and talismans taken from satanic altars or exorcisms. Lorraine warned that these were objects of attachment used to channel or blend energy. Whatever the fuck that means. And the sixth one is a haunted organ, a small adequate organ believed to play by itself at night. Ooh, freaky. Lorraine said she sometimes heard faint noises coming from the basement when no one was down there. You guys, hell no. The seventh item is the ragged cross and possession relics. So relics from exorcisms, Ouija boards, and witchcraft rituals, each tagged with a note from Ed describing the case, origin, and danger levels. The museum back in the day was open for appointments only for decades. but it soon shut down after Lorraine passed away in 2019. I don't remember the exact reason, you guys. Hold on. It got shut down to the public due to zoning and safety laws. Neighbors had complained about increased traffic and curiosity seekers. So the neighbors weren't having it. They had to get it shut down. So their son-in-law Tony still to this day guards the museum for them. Just, y'all, I'm so tired. It's fucking 1 in the morning. Anyway, their son-in-law kept up their wishes after death, so he makes sure that the items get blessed regularly and all of that. He keeps it contained, and I believe it's still part of the teachings. So the son-in-law is still to this day, I'm sure you guys could probably find classes on it. He still does psychic teachings that the Warners used to do, and it's all a part of that. Yeah. And so before we close it out, you guys, I want to tell you some quotes from Lorraine. Lorraine said, "You're never alone in that room. There's a presence attached to every item there. These objects are not to be feared, but they're to be respected." Oh, I don't know why, but that one, it gave me chills. Like, it's not to be feared, but you gonna motherfucking respect it, okay? Please let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section. And I'm curious, do you guys believe that these encounters actually happened and that these artifacts really do have entities attached to them? Or do you believe it's just a whole lot of woo-woo going on? Because I did see some controversy about people not believing that. I mean, obviously that guy that died, the dude that was tapping on the glass and was provoking Annabelle, he didn't believe that it was actually a real thing. A lot of people don't believe it's a real thing. A lot of people do. Personally, I kind of believe it's a real thing. Like, even just telling you guys about the story, I can like feel the energy, and I don't like it. I don't like it. That's why I moved my teddy bear. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So please let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm curious. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another Silent Screams Fact or Fiction. Hey, I hope I'm gonna have some more videos for you guys this month, especially because it's spooky season, so stay tuned for that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next, but I'm gonna do something. As always, please do something pertaining to your mental health. Go drink some water, go touch some grass or some leaves because it is cold outside. Listen to some music. I love you guys. Bye.